Did you know that you can build your custom application without any programming skills? With Zoho Creator, you can do that using a simple drag and drop interface and build an application that's exactly what you need. In this video, I will show you a quick demonstration how to do that and explain why Zoho Creator has become my go-to tool whenever there's a situation that I need a custom solution for. In the past, I've been struggling to find a tool that will allow me to collect and present data the way I want it. Even though there are numerous tools that allow you to do amazing things, most of the time I just couldn't fit my workflow to the way these applications worked. This all changed when I found Zoho Creator about 7 years ago. Since then, I'm able to build my applications the way I need them and not really to change my workflow in order to fit the application that I'm using. Let me show you really quick how you can build a custom application in matters of minutes. To build any application with Zoho Creator, we start with forms. Forms is a different name for the way how data is entered inside Zoho Creator. Let's add a new one. For the demonstration purpose, I'll go from scratch. My first form will be for customers. This is an empty form. Now on the left side, I have different fields that I can add inside the form. Single line field is for any short text input. Let's call this customer name. Then we will add address. We can do this billing address. We can also add shipping address. And for the sake of demonstration, let's add a phone number and email. Now we have the first form ready. We can actually access this application already. It's ready here, and we can start filling in data. So let's try submitting our first customer, calling customer 1 with the billing address, city, state. Let's do zip code and country. We can leave the shipping address empty. We can add the phone number and email address and hit submit. And then we also do customer 2, address new, city 2, state. Let's put in some zip code. And let's do this one in Germany. Submit. So this is how the form works. Now you see how you can enter data in the application. And now we'll use a so-called report to show you data that we have inside the system. Now that we created the first form, let me show you the basic components of every Zoho Creator application. There are forms, reports, workflows, and pages. For now, I will just focus on the first two. These are quite self-explanatory. Forms are used for data entry, and reports then show us the data that we have collected inside the application. Another great thing about Zoho Creator is that you have no complicated deployment system. Once you create your forms, you can go straight inside the application. Let me show you that. Here's our form customers, and here's our first report called all customers. Let's create a couple customers just for the demonstration purpose. The power of Zoho Creator lies in its simplicity. You build multiple forms, you create relationships between your data, and that way you can do almost anything. It is also really simple in a way that you have no complicated publishing process. Whatever you do in Zoho Creator, you can access immediately. So if I click access this application, there's already an application built here customers is my first form, and all customers is my first report. It is empty right now because there are no customers inside the form. Let's continue with our sample project. This will be an order tracking system. We have the customers already, so now we need to add products. To do that, I will go back to the editor, and here I will simply create a new form. I will add the name of the product. I will use the multi-line form to add product description. I will use decimal to add the price, and I will use image field to add product photos. Product form is now ready, and we can build the last form, which will be orders. So far, the first two forms that we created were nothing more sophisticated than a simple spreadsheet. But in this last one, we will finally leverage the power of Zoho Creator by creating relationship between data. Let's add the first field, which will be the order number. I will use the number field for that. We can also add date of the order. Now we need to add the field for customer. However, we already built the form for customers, so now we will just reference this form using a lookup field. For the lookup field, we need to set up which form and field we want to reference. In this case, I will use customers and the field customer name. Let's add the last important part, which will be items of our order. For this, we'll use a special form called subform. Again, we are starting from blank. What the subform does is it allows us to create one-to-many relationship. What I mean by that is we have one order that can have multiple items. And again, it will be easier to explain how this works once we're done creating the form. Subform works as a separate form inside your parent form. So we need to add fields for this form as well. We need to add product, amount, and price. For product, we'll use lookup to create reference. This time we're using form products and the field product name and price. In this moment, we're basically done building the application. Let's switch to the live view to see how the application works. Right here on the left side, we have the menu in which we have the customers, products, and orders. Each of them is a simple form, but altogether they already create an application. Now we can start filling in data. Let's start with the first form, customers. We can start adding customers. It is as easy as filling the form. I will add a couple more just to make it look more real. Great, now we can see the report called all customers. The report allows us to see the data that we entered inside the system and also do any edits if needed. We can move on to the second form, which is products. And again, we can add products, simply filling in the form. Let's move on to the last form, orders. And this is where we can see the true power of Zoho Creator. Let's fill in the order number and order date. The next field is the lookup field that allows us to select customers from our existing list. Here we can see the customers that we previously entered into the system. Let's select customer 1. To add products to our order, we'll use the subform field. When we click the Add New button, this will add a new line in our subform. The first field, product, is a lookup field that allows us to select products from our existing list. The remaining two fields are simple fields where we can add the amount and price. And we can add new products one by one. Once we are happy with the order, we can hit submit. As you can see, you can build the first application really quick. This simple application is just a start. If you're like me, every day we'll be coming up with ideas how to make your application better. So let's say you decide you want to separate your customers into different tiers based on their turnover or whatever metrics you choose. It's really easy to do this in Zoho Creator. You just go to the edit mode. You open your customers form. Let's add a new drop-down field. Here we can select the options that we need. And it's done. Now we can open the application and start adding tiers to our customers. The reason I like Zoho Creator is that I can build applications the way I like them. I can update them and change them anytime, and they're available right after I'm done editing them. I will be posting more videos about my use cases for Zoho Creator. Please write down in the comment section if you have an idea of an application that will be useful for you. For the most interesting ideas, I will try to make future videos as well. If you want to see more content like this, please subscribe to my channel and see you with the next videos.